Bomb Squad! YTBC. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. Look, this fight ended exactly how I thought it was going to end, in a brutal knockout. It did, okay? I didn't expect Szpilka to get past round 6, though, okay? I did not. I expected Wilder to have him out by round 6, okay? But I was 3 rounds off. He got him out, okay? Let me just go ahead and tell y'all something, man. Really and truly, I didn't really know much about Artur Szpilka. I didn't really know a whole lot about him before this fight. You know, like when the fight got announced, I started kind of really looking at videos and watching some of his fights. And I said, okay, well, this guy still not on Deontay Wilder level, but, you know, he probably won't be a pushover. I'll give him 6 rounds, you know. But the guy exceeded my expectations. He got to round 9 before he was put to sleep. This man was put to sleep, y'all. I'm talking about he was put to sleep. He was taking a nap. He done drunk a bottle of NyQuil. This man was asleep. They had to come and get the smelling salts, y'all. I'm not lying to y'all. They got the smelling salts for this man. They had to wake this man up using the smelling salts. His eyes were closed. He was asleep. He got caught trying to come in, and Deontay Wilder caught him with a right hand because he tried to throw a right hand, overhand right to Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder came in with a quick, really short hook to the inside and laid dude out. I'm talking about dude was out cold. He was asleep, y'all. I bet you he was on that canvas snoring. You know what? Let's talk about what both of the guys did right and wrong, okay? I'm going to start with Deontay Wilder. The first thing that I noticed that Deontay Wilder did was he really established the jab. I mean, Deontay Wilder established his jab. He kept Szpilka at a range, which he really didn't need to because Wilder kind of discovered that his punches really couldn't hurt him. So he really kept Szpilka at a range with the jab. You know, he was doing a good job. Wilder, I thought, used his footwork pretty well to get out of dangerous situations. And also Wilder, I saw him blocking a lot of punches, man. Like, man, I was impressed by that. Like, he was blocking a lot of punches, man, which I really never seen Wilder really block a lot of punches. Like, he didn't block a lot of punches in the Duhaupas fight. He didn't. But in this fight, he was catching those punches, man. He was blocking, catching, and even rolled a couple of punches. I was impressed, man. And then, too, you know, Wilder, you know, he established that short hook, man. He was catching Szpilka on the inside with that short hook, man. He did it more than once. But he also, too, was catching him with that straight right hand. He was countering Szpilka because when what Wilder figured out was, okay, I'm not as fast as this dude. So what he started doing was he started waiting on Szpilka to commit to a punch, and then Wilder came back with his own counter punch, okay? So those were the things that I saw Wilder do. Okay, now these are some things, man, that I couldn't roll with Wilder. I just couldn't do it. Wilder had his hands down the whole fight. And so, you know, in my brain I started thinking, what would a David Haye do? What would an Alexander Povetkin do? What would a Tyson Fury do with somebody who keeps their hands down like that? Like, what would they do? See, you know, I start really thinking about those fights, man, because this Szpilka guy don't have the punching power to really make Wilder stop in his tracks. See, a Duhaupas did, a Bermain Stavern did, but, you know, those guys, they really didn't have the mobility and the athleticism to keep up with Wilder. But, you know, a David Haywood, you know, even a Tyson Fury who can move around the ring, or, you know, even a Povetkin, you know, they can probably go blow for blow with Deontay Wilder. And I'm sitting here thinking, you know, so what would he do with his hands down like that against, you know, a higher ranked opponent? What would he do? So I started really thinking, he kept his hands down, man. Kept his hands down way too much for my taste. That's really about the only thing that I really saw him doing, you know. And, you know, and I noticed too that when Deontay Wilder is backpedaling, he's not offensive. Like you can have a Floyd Mayweather that can move backwards, but he can still be offensive. Deontay Wilder don't really have that in his repertoire right now to move back and still be offensive. So those were the two really major things that stood out to me that I noticed, okay? Let's talk about Artur Szpilka. Okay, I thought he did a great job of boxing. I thought he did a great job of moving his head. This guy had phenomenal head movement, man. He was bending at the waist, man. The guy was rotating his hips. He was, you know, sidestepping Deontay Wilder a couple of times. He had phenomenal head movement, man. The guy moves really, really well. And I think with more, you know, practice, with more work, I think Szpilka is going to be a pretty good contender. Another thing too, his chin. His chin, you know, he's got a decent chin. I think his chin is okay. He took enough of those right hands, man. He took enough of those right hands to earn the respect of me, definitely him having a chin. Now, here are the bad things that Szpilka just doesn't do very well. He never really established any kind of jab whatsoever. He didn't do it. He um, he didn't establish a jab with Deontay Wilder, which I think would have been critical because he probably could have kept the fight a lot closer than what it was had he established that jab. The second thing that I noticed Szpilka didn't do, he was impatient, man. He was too impatient with Deontay Wilder. Like he started almost in panic mode, man, because for some reason this guy thought that he was down on the cards. He thought that he was really that far behind that where he thought that he needed to just take a risk. You can't take those kind of risks with Deontay Wilder. I mean, you just can't do it. He should have at least, if he was going to do that, man, he should have kept boxing Wilder all the way up to the 11th round, and then he should have just went, balls for the walls in round 12, taking that risk. I just, I don't know. Like he was trying to get himself back ahead on the cards or trying to get back on the cards, but you got to be patient with a guy like Wilder. I mean, Wilder played it correctly. He was patient. Wilder did a good job of being very, very patient. Szpilka did not do a good job of being patient. He ain't do it, man. But I got a lot of respect for the guy, man. The guy really went in there and he fought a hard fought fight. He was not intimidated by Deontay Wilder at one bit, man. He wasn't afraid at all. Wilder was walking him down the whole time. Wilder was walking him down most of the night. And pretty much, man, we all knew what was going to happen in this fight. Okay, yeah, Szpilka got put to sleep, man. The guy was put to sleep in the 9th round. And man, that was a brutal knockout. And you know what, man? The referee, I got to say, that's a dumbass referee. You see, when a dude's legs is crossed, he ain't getting up. I ain't never seen a dude hit the canvas, their legs crossed, and you think he getting up. The referee gave him a count, and he got to 5. He just like threw it off. Man, look, it was lights out. That was all she wrote. Dumb referee though. We get dumb referees in the sport of boxing every now and then, and that's just the way that is. Now, what's next for Deontay Wilder? What's next for him? Wilder needs to be in that ring with Povetkin or Fury. If he does not get into that ring with Povetkin or Fury, Wilder right now is 30 years old. Look, he's in his prime. Okay, he's about in his prime as he's gonna get. Wilder needs to get in that ring with Povetkin or Fury, and it needs to be on, man. Well, the Fury fight can't happen next because he got to fight Klitschko. So that leaves Povetkin, and they were in the audience. And let me tell you, man, Povetkin, I'm looking at Povetkin's face, man. I don't think Povetkin really want to deal with that. I just don't, man. And I think after seeing that brutal knockout, I don't think Povetkin wanted, man. I actually do think Tyson Fury won him. I think Tyson Fury wants to fight. And I think Tyson Fury, and I hope Fury, they start pushing after Wilder gets through with Povetkin, if they fight, and after Fury gets through with Klitschko, they need to fight each other, man. That fight has been brewing. They've been trash talking. It's time for this fight to happen now. We want Canelo, Triple G, and we want Fury and Wilder, man. Those are the two fights that need to happen. This is your boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison. I'm done.